Hey you guys, and welcome back. Today I am going to be doing my September favorites. I can't believe we are already here. Every month I say that, and every month it just shocks me how quickly it goes by. But today I'm going to be talking about all the products that I have been loving in the month of September. I hope you guys had a good month and a good summer and that you're as ready for fall as I am. So let's just go ahead and get started. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about is actually this straightener. The straightener is from a brand called Duval. They actually sent this product to me for free. This isn't a sponsored video or anything. I actually ended up really liking it. I've never had like an actual straightener. Well, I did have one, but it was like a mini one that I got that was like about this big, and it just was really hard because I have a lot of hair, so I can never really straighten my whole head. So I feel like this is the first actual straightener that I've ever tried out, and I do really like it. I used it on my hair today. I haven't really straightened my hair a lot in the past, so I still have to figure out the best way to do it. I mean, it's not that hard, right? I feel like the more that I straighten my hair, the easier it will get. I have pretty straight hair anyway. I used it a couple times already, and I've been really enjoying this one. This specific one, I'm just reading it right now. It's called the Impulse Far Infrared Styling Iron. It does have 5 different temperature settings from 270 to 450. It actually has a really nice feel to it as well. It's kind of like a soft matte touch to it. They actually did give me a discount code, so I think it gives you a really lot of that. I was kind of like sketched out about it because it was such a big discount code. I think it gives you 70% off, so I will leave it in the description bar below if you wanted to test it out and try out the straightener and purchase some products off their website. I hadn't heard of this brand before, so I can only really speak on this specific product. Then I wanted to talk about this nail polish. It's actually on my nails right now. It is from Sinful Colors, and it's in the shade Raisin the Roof. Just this really nice dark burgundy, dark plum. I think it's like a dark plum shade. I really like it. I just think it's so perfect for fall. I just put it on today, trying to hang on to the summery shades for a bit, but then I decided just to jump right into it and start wearing the fall shades. I love the brand Sinful Colors. Their nail polish lasts really, really well on me and doesn't chip. I know that in all my videos I have chipped nail polish, but that's because it's been like 2 weeks. But this is the one brand that I can get through an actual week without my nails chipping and looking really bad. So I really, really like them. I usually use 3 layers when I'm using this brand, but they have such a nice color selection and they're really, really cheap. So I just thought I would mention Raisin the Roof. I think it's such a pretty shade for the fall time, and I just love it. It's giving me all of those wonderful autumn vibes. I wanted to talk about a show, and it is Criminal UK. I've only watched the UK version. I know that they have Criminal Germany and Criminal Spain, and there might be another one, but the only one that I've actually watched is Criminal UK, and it's so good. I love that show. I think it's a masterpiece just in the way that they can build so much drama and suspense and never leave the room. It's basically a series of like interrogations where this team like interviews or interrogates, I guess, suspects or even just witnesses in crimes, and it's just so crazy how you don't see anything. Like there's no flashbacks, there's no backstory or anything. It's just the interrogation room, and it's so suspenseful. I really think it's an amazing show. It's really a masterpiece in my mind. And every episode is different, so it's the same interrogation cast for the whole series. There's 2 seasons so far. I'm just finishing off season 2. I've only actually watched episode 1 and 2 from season 2 so far, so I'm going to finish the next 2 tonight. But the recurring cast is the interrogation team, and then the witness or the suspect is always someone different. It's always for a different crime. My favorite episodes have been the one with David Tennant in it, because it was, I think, episode 1 of season 1, and that is what really hooked me. I loved that episode so much. Also because I love David Tennant, of course. And then my next favorite after that is the one with Kit Harington, who I also love. He is such a good actor, and you don't really see it when he's Jon Snow. Like, I feel like he's very monotone and doesn't really have a lot of personality as Jon. But then when he was in this episode, you really saw his like acting range, and he's so talented. I just loved that whole episode with him in it. So I just thought I'd recommend it. If you guys like those kind of shows, I think you would really like this one. And then I also wanted to mention a YouTuber, which I think I started liking it, I'm pretty sure, because of Criminal. And it's called JSC Criminal Psychology. And basically what he does on this channel is upload full interrogations of criminals and or suspects and witnesses and things like that, and then he will analyze them. It's just so fascinating to me hearing how he analyzes these criminals and these suspects, and also how the detectives work the suspect, all the different techniques they use to get the suspect to admit that they did the crime. It's just so interesting. And they're really, really long episodes. Like, I just have his YouTube channel up right now. They're kind of like mini show episodes, I guess. They're all like 50 minutes. Some of them are over an hour. They've just all been really good. They're just so fascinating to me. I am just addicted to watching them. I've just really enjoyed that YouTube channel, so I will link it down below. Those are kind of my favorites this month. And then I wanted to talk about my eyeshadow of the month and my base products. Eyeshadow palette is actually a big, big favorite. I love this palette so much. It's the Creme Brulee palette from I Heart Revolution. I'm wearing it on my face today, or my eyes today. It's such a beautiful palette. The color scheme is very fall. It's full of these warm mustard tones. Every shade in here I like. Like, there's not one shade in this palette that I don't like. I think the quality is really good. The mattes are really easy to blend. Shimmers are nice and creamy as well. I think they apply best with your finger if you want to have like the best color payoff. It has a good range of depth in here as well, from like a matte white to a black shade. And it's just good. It's just one of my favorite palettes. I'm going to be really sad to stop using it in October. I don't know what I'm going to pick for October yet, but I feel like nothing can compete with this palette in the fall time. Then my base products of the month were the First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Tinted Moisturizer and the Maybelline Dream Urban Cover Foundation. Both of these I really like and I enjoy using. I love the First Aid Beauty Tinted Moisturizer. It has SPF 30 in it. I have the shade Sand. So now that like it's raining outside again and the weather has just taken a turn for the worse, I kind of like it at times when it rains because it feels very like cozy. But also I live in Vancouver and it's just going to be raining now straight until April. It's just kind of sad to think that like the actual sunny days are over. So with that being said, my tan has kind of faded a lot. Even looking in this video, I'm just noticing for the first time how much paler my face is. So I don't think I want to be able to use this until I get my tan back because the shade is so dark, but it's such a good product. I'm almost tempted to pick up a lighter shade for the winter time. It looks flawless on the skin. It provides a decent amount of coverage. Like, it's not much. Obviously, it's a tinted moisturizer, but it evens out your skin tone, makes your skin look very luminous and glowy and healthy. So it's just a good product. I really like it. And then the Maybelline foundation, this has SPF 50 in it, and I have the shade 220 Natural Beige. I also love this product. It's one of my favorite foundations with SPF in it from the drugstore. Same thing with the First Aid Beauty. This one is probably going to be too dark for me in a couple weeks, so I'm going to have to switch over and use something else for the fall and winter months. But I do really like it. I love that it has that SPF in it because it's really hard to find stuff like that at the drugstore that are actually good. Okay, and last but not least are the books that I've read this month. The first thing I want to talk about is, I don't actually have it with me, but it's The Plague by Albert Camus. It was a really interesting book. At times I found my mind wandering when I read it, so I would have to reread pages sometimes because I wasn't like intaking anything. But other than that, I liked the book. It wasn't like the most eventful, like there wasn't really, well, yeah, I guess there wasn't really a plot to it. It's pretty much a town gets infected by the plague and the plague spreads and they get isolated from the rest of the world, and the residents want to leave but they can't. It's basically what's happening now, but on a more extreme level. So in that sense, I found it very relatable. I don't think I would have liked it if we hadn't been experiencing the coronavirus. Like, I don't think I would have enjoyed reading that book as much if I couldn't relate to it. Now that we have experienced like a quarantine, and we've experienced those feelings of isolation with something that's totally out of our control. I think that it's easier to read The Plague and kind of grasp it and understand it a bit more. So in that sense, I really enjoyed it, and I would recommend it to you guys if you're looking for something to read during quarantine. It's a pretty interesting novel for sure, and especially that it's so relatable now. This one I actually finished in September. I didn't start it in September. I've been reading it for a while, but I finished it, and it's War and Peace. I'm pretty sure I talked about it in my August favorites. I don't remember what I said in that video, but this is definitely my new favorite book. I was so sad when I finished it. You just feel like you become a part of these novels when you've been reading them, especially when they're so long and they take you longer to read. I feel like you just, like, your heart kind of breaks when you finish the book, and when characters die, you feel like you've lost somebody close as well, and you just get so attached to the characters, the story, and the environment, and it kind of just makes you miss the book when you finish it. It has some amazing characters in it, plot line's really good, and it just comes for full circle. Like, it's kind of, you kind of know it's got to come for full circle, but when you actually finish the book and you kind of reflect on everything that happened, it's just perfect. The way Tolstoy laid it all out, the way he started the novel and finished it, it's just an incredible piece of literature. I really, really like it. This is definitely my new favorite book. I like it more than Anna Karenina, I've decided, because Anna Karenina is good, but I really only like one of the characters in Anna Karenina, whereas in this book, I feel like I like so many more of the characters. Probably start with Anna Karenina if you've never read that one, and then read War and Peace, but read it before you die. That's what I would recommend. And then I finished The Heart's Invisible Furies by John Boyne, which, oh my gosh. Okay, so when I mentioned that I was going to read this book in one of my recent videos, some of you had said that, get ready for tears, you're going to be crying. And the whole time I was reading it, I was like, oh, maybe I'm just very, unemotional, and maybe I'm just really cold, because I wasn't crying at all. I didn't feel like crying at all. And then when I read, what was it? The last part and the epilogue, that is when I was crying. It was so sad at the end of the novel. Then I understood why he also wrote The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, because that movie I cannot get. It's the one movie that I cannot get through. And then I understood when I read this book, it really pulls at your heartstrings, but it's also so funny. The characters in here are so funny, the way they talk and interact with each other. Obviously the main character is Cyril, and he is kind of annoying, but he's also super funny the way he speaks and talks with his friends. And then there's a character in here called Alice who is so funny as well. I was laughing out loud so many times when I was reading this book. It's kind of dark. I'd say it's a dark type of humor though, because it's the novel is actually really serious, and the topics in here are really dark and serious and heavy, but kind of writes it in a way that makes you laugh at the same time. And then by the end of it, I was just in tears. I was just lying on my couch and crying. And the last thing on my list to talk about today is Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, and It's All Small Stuff by Richard Carlson. Really all about finding your inner peace. He kind of teaches you how to react to certain situations. It's 100 lessons on how you can live a more peaceful life and not let little things take over and drive you crazy or make you stressed out. I think it's just about how to become a better person and have better relationships with the people around you. I really like this book. This isn't my copy. I borrowed it from work. Once we're back in the office, I'm going to have to return it, but I actually think I'm going to buy it because I want to have it with me so that I can refer to it when I need to, because it's hard. You can't just memorize everything in this book, obviously, but I want to learn everything that he's talking about and not forget it. So I kind of do want to buy my own copy. If you are open to self-help books and learning how to improve yourself, I would recommend you read this one. I'm finding it really helpful. I'm on lesson 76, which is Get Comfortable Not Knowing, but I'll probably finish it tonight. I try not to read through this one really fast. I read about 10 lessons a day just so I can kind of prolong the journey of reading this book. But anyway, that is my last thing for this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is another favorite. I forgot to mention it. It's this really cozy fall plaid. It's kind of like an overshirt, like you could wear it as a jacket. I got it from Zara. I really like it. I forgot to mention that, but that's another favorite. But let me know what you guys have been loving this month if you're ready for October. Thank you guys as always for watching. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Please subscribe if you'd like to see more videos, and I will see you in my next one.